Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're spending some time with one of the most fascinating animals in the world, the orangutan. These incredible great apes are native to the tropical forests of Southeast Asia, and we're here to take a closer look at the Bornean orangutans. The Bornean orangutan is one of the three recognised species of orangutan, alongside the Sumatran and the Tapu Nili. They are instantly recognisable by their distinctive reddish-orange hair, long arms and expressive faces. And if you watch them for a while, you'll quickly realise just how intelligent and individual these animals are. One of the things that makes orangutans particularly special is their relationship with their young. Here we have a youngster who is approximately a year old, and it's fascinating to watch how much attention is given to the baby. At this age, an orangutan youngster is incredibly dependent on its mother. The bond between mother and baby is incredibly strong. Young orangutans spend years learning from their mothers, and much of what they eventually need to know about surviving in the forest is learned by watching and copying them. This includes foods to eat, where to find them, how to move safely through the trees, and even how to construct a sleeping nest. Unlike many animals, orangutans have a very long childhood. This gives the youngsters plenty of time to develop the skills they will need as adults. And when you watch the young orangutan exploring, you can see that process taking place. Everything seems to be interesting: a leaf, a branch, a piece of enrichment, or something another orangutan is doing that can become an opportunity to investigate. Their long arms and incredibly flexible hands are perfectly adapted to life in the trees. Orangutans spend much of their lives in the forest canopy. Their hands and feet are both capable of gripping branches, allowing them to move around their environment with remarkable agility. Despite their size, they can be surprisingly graceful, and of course those incredibly expressive faces. Orangutans are capable of displaying a remarkable range of behaviours, and spending time watching them almost feels like watching a group of people. They can scratch, explore, play, investigate their surroundings and interact with one another. Here we can see another young orangutan. I'm not certain of the youngster's exact age, but it's a great opportunity to see how different individuals develop and behave. Young orangutans can be extremely cautious, and curiosity is an important part of growing up. For an animal that will eventually live independently, there's a huge amount to learn. The Bornean orangutan is facing serious threats in the wild. Their natural habitat has been reduced dramatically over the years, particularly through deforestation and conversion of forests for agriculture. The loss and fragmentation of rainforests makes it increasingly difficult for wild orangs to find the food and space they need. Orangutans are also slow breeders, which makes recovering from population declines very difficult. A mother invests an enormous amount of time raising a youngster. This means that populations cannot simply recover when numbers fall. This is why conservation work is so important. Zoos can play a role through education, research, breeding programs, supporting conservation efforts and protecting orangutans in their rainforest habitats. And perhaps one of the most important things zoos can do is give people an opportunity to see these animals for themselves. It's one thing to read about an orangutan in a book. It's something completely different to stand and watch one looking back at you. There's something incredibly human-like about their expressions and behaviour. Although they may seem very familiar to us, they are wild animals and their own unique biology, behaviour and needs. One of the most fascinating things about orangutans is their intelligence. They are excellent problem solvers and are observed using tools and adapting objects within their environment. In the wild, this intelligence helps them make use of resources available to them. Here, enrichment can provide similar opportunities to explore, investigate, and keep their minds active. And for the youngsters, every new experience can become part of their education. Watching this young orangutan moving around, exploring, interacting gives us a small glimpse into that process. There is still so much we don't know about these remarkable animals, but what we do know is that orangutans are among the most intelligent and fascinating animals on our planet. And when you see a mother caring for her young, it reminds you just how important these animals are to the future of their species. The Bornean orangutan may spend much of its life high in the rainforest canopy, but here we have a chance to appreciate them at much closer quarters. From the youngster discovering the world around it to the adults who have already developed the skills needed to survive, every individual has its own personality, and that's what makes spending time with the orangutan so rewarding. So if you're visiting the zoo, take a little time to simply sit and watch them. you might see climbing, feeding, playing, exploring, or perhaps just a moment between mother and youngster. Sometimes the most interesting animal encounters are the ones where we just simply stop and watch. And for these beautiful Bornean orangutans, every moment provides them with a reminder of how fascinating great apes really can be. Hopefully you've enjoyed spending a little time with them. And if you have, let's now take a look at another orangutan species, the Sumatran orangutan. We're now moving on to another fascinating orangutan species, the Sumatran orangutan. Native to the island of Sumatra in Indonesia, these magnificent great apes are closely related to the Bornean orangutans we've just been watching. They share that distinctive reddish-orange hair, incredibly long arms and remarkable intelligence. But Sumatran orangutans have their own characteristics and adaptations. Their natural home is the tropical rainforest, where they spend most of their time moving through the trees and searching for foods. Orangutans are primarily fruit eaters, although their diet can include leaves, flowers, bark, insects, and other food depending on what is available. Living in a rainforest means they are able to make the most of whatever food happens to be available at different times of year. Their long arms are perfectly suited to an arboreal lifestyle. Watching an orangutan move through the surroundings really demonstrates just how well adapted they are to life in the canopy. They can reach out to the branches that would be difficult for many other animals to access, using their hands and feet to maintain their grip. Just like their Bornean relatives, Sumatran orangutans are highly intelligent. They can read, remember and solve problems, and their curiosity makes them fascinating animals to observe. Unfortunately, the Sumatran orangutans are facing major threats in the wild. The biggest problem is the loss and fragmentation of rainforest habitats. As rainforests disappear, orangs lose the trees, food space that they need to depend on. And because orangutans reproduce very slowly, their mothers invest many years in raising their young, so populations can be very slow to recover. Conservation is therefore vital, protecting the remaining rainforests, reducing habitat destruction, and supporting the conservation programs also have an important part to play in raising in the future. And that's one reason why seeing these animals in a zoo can be so valuable. It gives visitors an opportunity to appreciate these incredible creatures while also learning about the challenges facing them in the wild. There is something particularly special about watching an orangutan quietly going about its day. They don't need to perform for us. Simply watching them explore, feed, climb or relax gives us a fascinating insight into one of our closest animal relatives. The Sumatran orangutan is a remarkable animal, intelligent, curious and perfectly adapted to a life in the rainforest. But its future ultimately depends on our ability to protect the rainforest. Hopefully this short visit has given you a greater appreciation for these incredible great apes. If you've enjoyed watching them, don't forget to look at other animals and wildlife experiences on the channel. And please like, share and subscribe. It will help the channel grow. I appreciate it.